Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Supergirl trailer. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. So Supergirl is coming out next summer. We're actually approaching the new year. As of right now, I'm recording at the end of November. We've got like a month and a bit left of the year, and then we're going to be in 2026, which is Supergirl's release year. Now, Supergirl is supposed to come out June 26, 2026. There has been some talk that maybe Supergirl might move because it is pretty close in proximity to a couple of other very big films. So we'll have to wait and see if it sticks for the release date that it's originally got. But in the meantime, people have been speculating online lots about when the Supergirl first look is going to be revealed. We've seen glimpses from set photos, from leaks, from people like James Gunn, and obviously the biggest thing that we've seen so far is her cameo at the end of Superman, which debuted the character in the DCU. So we saw Millie Alcock suited up as Supergirl. She has her Supergirl costume on, it's quite battered, it's clearly gone through quite a lot while she's been out drinking and partying under red suns, which obviously Superman says at the end of Superman. And she's got that kind of Supergirl look down, but also she's got that Woman of Tomorrow look down, because in the comics she has the beige kind of trench coat that she wore at the end of the Superman film just over her costume. So we know they're going to be like fairly accurate to the comics, but they're going to be introducing a couple of new characters, including Jason Momoa's Lobo. So there's bits and pieces that we know what she looks like because we've seen her in Superman. But let's talk about the trailer, because there has been lots of rumors online as to when this trailer is going to come out, what we're going to see in the trailer. So let's break it down in this video. So I'm going to credit MovieWeb because we're going to be breaking down an article which is titled Supergirl trailer release date rumor comes with a new casting announcement. So there's the new casting announcement on top of all these rumors, and they obviously break down where they think Supergirl is going to be releasing its first trailer. So this is how the article goes. December is already lining up to have a big wave of trailers, with Avengers Doomsday and Masters of the Universe already rumored to be releasing their first teasers ahead of Avatar Fire and Ash in cinemas, which is obviously coming out in December. So we won't have super long to wait until potentially we could get our first look at Avengers Doomsday, which is obviously very exciting if you are a Marvel fan. Now it looks like James Gunn's DCU could be joining the fray, with a first trailer for next summer's Supergirl set to be dropping in 2 weeks time, and this article was released today, so in 2 weeks time from the 26th of November. This comes with yet more casting news ahead of next week's CCXP event in Brazil. If you guys don't know what CCXP is, it's a Comic-Con style event where they have panels and they have different guests. I had a brief look at who was there. In fact, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow's artist and the person that basically drew the comic is going to be there. I don't know if there's a coincidence or not. Maybe they will be making an appearance at a potential Supergirl panel, but apparently we're going to get quite a lot of Supergirl content there. There's probably going to be like a pop-up there, but also potentially a panel, and that is what we're looking forward to, because if you guys remember back in the day, obviously the big thing that everyone would wait for every year would be San Diego Comic-Con. That's where all the trailers would drop, and it's just not really been a big thing since the pandemic. Like, it's died down. You know, you have studios like DC and Warner Brothers basically doing DC fandom over the pandemic years, but that's gone now. And then obviously Disney does their own things, and so yeah, Comic-Con hasn't been very big for quite a while now. But Supergirl was one of the several highly anticipated movies coming out in summer 2026. However, it is also one with probably the most riding on the shoulders of its star, Millie Alcock, and the Supergirl performance that she gives is going to be closely watched by many, and not just those sitting in an audience, with a possible Warner Brothers takeover being back on the cards. So while HBO Max's Lantern series was originally expected to debut before Supergirl, it's actually going to be coming out afterwards. So that means that Supergirl is the next DCU project that we're getting. So that is something obviously to really look forward to, despite the bad news that apparently Lanterns has been delayed, but it will come out later in the year. So this is where the article gets into the new casting announcement, because they've added a new actor who is called Ferdinand Kingsley. and he's going to be playing Ruthie's father in the Supergirl film. And if you've read the comic, spoiler alert, Ruthie's father plays a big role at the start of it. Even though he doesn't really make an appearance at all, he is kind of more mentioned, and his death is a big kind of motivating factor behind why Ruthie is seeking out Supergirl to try and get revenge for her father's death at the hands of Krem, who in the comic book is the main villain, and I believe will still be the main villain in this. We know Krem is going to be played by Matthias Schoenaerts, and he's going to be joined by Jason Momoa as Lobo, and you have a bunch of other castings that they've done, including Eve Ridley as Ruthie, who is going to be one of the main characters, and obviously Millie Alcock as Supergirl. So that's the casting news that needed to be mentioned in this video, but let's get back into when Supergirl could be potentially dropping that trailer. So as I said, they haven't announced like any Supergirl panel specifically at CCXP, but the event is actually taking place in Brazil on December 4th to the 7th. So basically keep an eye out for those days, because it seems like that is the most likely option to potentially see a first teaser trailer. Now I have to emphasize, if it's going to be a trailer, it will be short, and potentially you could even get like behind the scenes video included in it. Like I could imagine James Gunn being a part of it, basically announcing Supergirl kind of to the world and being like, here is the first look footage, enjoy this guys, and it's like a tiny teaser with maybe some footage of James Gunn or someone talking about Supergirl, maybe Millie Alcock as well. So I feel like that is a likely possibility, that is going to be simply a teaser trailer and it's not going to be like a full-blown trailer to kind of announce the film. I feel like that could potentially come in the new year, as obviously December is going to be pretty stacked. It seems like a lot of focus is going to be on Avatar, and releasing trailers around the holiday time, around Christmas time, isn't always the best. I mean, some films make it work, and you've seen in the past like lots of films get released on like Christmas Day, and in the holidays they sometimes perform well for a few days, but then everyone gets busy with their holidays and so they don't go as much. So I feel like, yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to release a trailer at Christmas. That's just me speculating here. But I feel like, yeah, we're going to get our first look sometime soon, because we are roughly actually about 7 months off of June 26th, because I'm recording this video on the 26th of November, so it's 7 months off. So imagine a month from now is just before New Year. So I feel like that is kind of a good time to release a proper trailer online that could maybe be seen in cinemas as well. So in reality, we don't have that long to wait until we start seeing content, and we're just hoping that CCXP 25 is going to be our first look that we get at Supergirl. Now, there is one more thing I need to talk about that definitely suggests that Supergirl's marketing is about to begin, and that is the fact that on Twitter, it seems the handle @Supergirl has been taken, and this is a new thing. It's basically a blank account, but if you guys don't know how they market films, they would normally save the account and then start posting on it pretty soon afterwards. So it seems like they've bought the @Supergirl address if they needed to buy it from someone, and now they have it, and it seems like it is ready to go, because people have been talking about that over the last couple of days since everyone found out that the @Supergirl handle on Twitter or X has been taken. So the article then goes into why CCXP could be like the perfect event, because in previous years there were trailers for films like Wonder Woman 1984 and Godzilla vs Kong, but it must be mentioned that in recent years there haven't actually been many trailers that have been released at CCXP, and potentially at some of these events they just release it to the crowd there. So there's always the chance that they make it exclusive to the event, and the only thing you hear about is the leaks about what's going to be in it and what type of footage they saw. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the recent content over the last week or so. We are definitely ramping up as we head into the end of the year. Gonna have lots of content up for you guys. If you have any video suggestions, please be sure to comment them down below, and I'll be sure to respond to you guys if I see anything that is super interesting to me. And yeah, let me know, are you excited to see the Supergirl trailer when it eventually comes out? And do you think CCXP is going to be the place where we finally see that first Supergirl trailer, or a first look in general at the film that is coming out next summer? So thank you guys for watching. You can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.